Hello, 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 and welcome back to some more Mimic Logic.
Yay, mimics.
Alright, what should we do?
Alright, well, we did number.
Number was pretty easy. Mimics only tell the truth, but all normal boxes the same color as that mimic will lie. We did that. Confused. One confused box is mixed in with the rest. Confused boxes always tell lies, but they are not treated as mimics and are therefore safe to open.
Okay, let's try that.
Here are 7 blue crystals. Wow, okay. The bottom row contains no mimics. Leftmost column contains a mimic. The top row contains no mimics. So one of these two is lying. Certainly. But these two agree with each other. They can't both be confused, but one could be confused and one could be a mimic, except the bottom row contains no mimics. So we know for certain the bottom row contains no mimics because 3 agree with each other. So leftmost column must contain no mimics. So one of these two is the mimic, and one of these two is confused. However, we can't tell which one is which.
Yeah, just based on the info we have, we don't have enough info. Let's just open them.
So here's a question: do we use one of the gemstones to figure it out?
I think it's too early in this one.
It's floor 1. It's floor 1. Like, we die on floor 1, like, whatever. Bottom row contains a mimic, top row contains no mimics, right side... Okay, these two disagree.
The top row definitely contains no mimics.
I mean, just because 2 agree with each other doesn't mean that they're actually telling the truth.
The left column disagrees with each other, and the middle column disagrees with each other. So therefore, we know that 2 of those 4 are wrong, right, meaning the remaining ones have to be correct.
So rightmost column contains no mimics. Yeah, bottom row must contain a mimic. So one of these is truthful, one of these is lying. So I mean, one of these is a mimic, one of them is confused. Once again, right, just open up one of them. Once again. Okay, bottom row contains a mimic, bottom row contains a mimic. Top row contains no mimics. Top row contains a mimic, no. Leftmost column contains a mimic. Okay, so we know the mimic is on the bottom. We don't necessarily know that the leftmost column must contain a mimic.
We also don't necessarily know that the bottom right is...
If the bottom row contains the mimic, then the top row must contain no mimics.
Oh, good point.
The bottom row contains no mimics is false. The top row contains a mimic is false. However, one of them has to be confused, so the left column contains the mimic. This one is merely confused.
Nice! No guesswork involved.
Box below me is a mimic. Box below me is a mimic. One of... Like, they can't both be telling the truth. Box to the left is safe. Box above is... Okay. This one is vouching for this one. It's vouching for this one. This could be true or be confused. Which means... one of these two is the mimic. Box on the right is safe. I think
that one has to be... yeah.
Confused. So, one of the two on the left is the mimic, but we have no way of telling.
Yeah.
So, once again, do we just randomly go for one, or do we use a crystal, or do we just run?
Let's take a guess.
All the reds. Alright. Sure, magic damage up. There is no mimic among the red boxes, says a red box. That one cannot be confused. It's either true. It's either good or it's a mimic. There's none among the black boxes, but there is one among the blue boxes. Okay, so we know that this and this are true because one of these four, there has to be the mimic and the confused. Because both of those statements can't be correct.
Yes.
Box on the right isn't a mimic. So that's not a mimic, but that could still be confused, so we don't know about this one. So, yeah. So, this could be a mimic. Box above is a mimic. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. Okay. If this one is confused, and this one is actually fine, that means that that is fine, and then there is a mimic among the blue boxes, and it's this.
Okay.
But if this one is just true, then that is a mimic. There is no mimic among the black boxes, which can't happen.
Yep. So we know that one, the one bottom middle, has to be confused. Yes.
And that one is a mimic.
Okay.
Eat all candy. Cool. Optimize here. Cool. Nasa, please! Nasa, please! Thank you. This is doing more damage than we are. Box below me is a mimic. Box below me isn't a mimic. There is no black box. Okay, if this is true, then this is true. Then that is true. That's a mimic. That is true. It can't be.
It could be confused.
Oh yeah, could be confused. And then that could be true.
Okay, the left column, they disagree with each other, so therefore one of those is either mimic or confused. The middle column disagree with each other, so therefore one of them is mimic or confused. Therefore we know for a fact that the one on the two on the right
must be true.
Must be true.
Which means there is no mimic among the black boxes. So
yes.
But one of them could still be confused. If this is confused, then the bottom row would then have to contain no mimics. Leftmost column definitely contains a mimic. And it would be like that.
So therefore, we actually cannot know if it's the blue one or the red one that is the mimic at this point. The only thing we can be certain of is that the
black boxes are all good.
Yes. So let's open them up.
Well,
let's open and then go back into the view thing and see if the thing actually says which one is confused.
So good point.
Because I know whenever we've gotten the mimic, it's
it does not say which one was confused, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
So we know that one of those two is a mimic and one of them is safe. But I figure just run.
What floor are we on?
6.
Let's
out
use
of 30.
All
right. Top left is safe.
Cool.
Alright, floor 7, let's go. So bottom row contains a mimic. There are more mimics in black boxes than in red boxes. Bottom row contains no mimics. So these two disagree.
Well, 3 of them say bottom row contains a mimic, so therefore the bottom row has a mimic.
So that's the mimic.
Yeah, and therefore...
There are more mimics in black boxes than in red boxes is not true, so that's confused.
Yes.
And there is no mimic in the black box.
Yes.
Cool? Cool.
Yep.
If you mark it as a triangle for the confused one, it doesn't auto-open.
I noticed, yes.
Which is unfortunate. Nasa, please? Please, Nasa, please. I mean, if you want to, Nasa. It would be okay. It'd be... Okay. Last chance?
We need a full meal.
Yes. At least we have a little bit of money.
Who's the redhead?
Gambler.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, what weapon do we get? So do we just buy this weapon? Or instead,
durable.
we could buy
Just the
attack
candies.
candy. Big brain play. Sell the blue crystals.
No.
I do want to try a run of this eventually at some point where you just ignore all of the chests. New music. A mimic among the black boxes. There is a mimic among the black boxes. One of these is lying. Top row contains no mimics. That one is also lying. Well, not necessarily. This one doesn't have to be lying. Bottom row contains a mimic. Okay, one of these two is lying, which means all the others are telling the truth.
I mean, again, one of them could be confused.
Okay, of the top two disagree with each other, which means one of them is telling the truth and one of them is lying. It could be confused, it could be a mimic, but it's lying. The bottom two disagree with each other, so one of them is telling the truth, one of them is lying. Could be a mimic, could be confused, but one of them is lying. There's
However,
only one mimic,
if you look
one
at the far
confused.
right-
Yeah, I know, the bottom row has to... Yeah.
Yes, so therefore we know that the bottom left one is the mimic.
We know these three are correct because the mimic and the confused are on the top and bottom. So we know the top row contains no mimics, so one of them is accurate and one of them is confused. And the bottom row, well, there's no mimic among the red boxes, is true. And we know the top row has no mimics, period.
Yeah.
So we know it's like this.
Yes.
Which is what I was trying to say, and then you interrupted me by saying, no, it's
Yeah,
actually
because
exactly
you're
what
taking
you're
extra
saying.
steps to get to the same solution.
Well,
You
because
can-
I took like 2 steps to get there, and you're like, what? I don't understand. So I had to reach...
No, I didn't say I didn't understand. I said I got to the solution in one step.
Oh my god. You're like, no, that's not how it is. Zero mimics are in blue, one is in red. Diagonal upright is safe, so that is a vouch. One mimic is in a red box. Down right is a mimic. So that's lying. Up left is safe. Up left would have to be safe. Box on the right is a mimic. So that's confused. That's the mimic. One mimic is in a red box. Alright, let's buy more attack candies. Let's eat those candies. And, okay. Box on the right is safe. There are more mimics in blue than in black, which means there'll be one mimic in a blue box and one in a black box. Unless it is confused. One mimic's in a red box, 0 mimics on red boxes, so one of these two is lying. Okay, that, 0 in blue. Counteracts that. Counteracts that, counteracts that. More in red than in black, so the mimic's in a red box, now upright is safe, yeah. Vouch, vouch, vouch. So, mimics are hiding in red boxes is then... Yeah, that's a falsity. One mimic's hiding in a red box. one blue, then black, or zero mimics. Well, then zero mimics are in blue boxes because one is in a red box.
Yeah.
Zero mimics are hiding in red boxes is lying. Okay, the box on the right is not a mimic. This one is confused. This one is the mimic. Yep. Right, top row is safe, down right is safe. Bottom row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains a mimic. Box on the left is a mimic. That is false. And the bottom row contains a mimic, so that's actually the confused. Top row contains no mimics. Will then be safe. Up left is a mimic, is false. So there. And cool. Optimize gear again. So the bonus.
Hey, you could have bought more blue crystals.
Down right is safe. There's no gold in the bottom row. Interesting. Bottom row contains no mimics. There's no gold in the bottom row. There's no gold in the bottom row. Bottom row contains no mimics. This can't all be true.
Okay. We don't. 3 things say the bottom row contains no mimics, therefore we know all 3 of them have to be true and safe.
Yeah. One of them could be confused, but there's no gold in the bottom row. It's in a lie. So.
How could one of those 3 be confused?
No, one of the bottom ones could be confused. One of the non-mimics on the bottom row could be confused. But bottom row contains no mimics. So yeah, 4 all vouch for the bottom row. Top row contains no mimics. That could be confused. Let's check to see if there's gold in the bottom row. There is gold in the bottom row.
Yeah.
So top row contains no mimics. That one's the mimic.
Yeah.
Nisa, thank you. And sure, fine.
Yeah, for 10G, why not?
Small meal. Alright, cool, perfect. 2 mimics, cool. Top book at the bottom of the column has 1 or more mimics. I mean, this could be confused. Sleeping. Rightmost column has 1 or more mimics, so 2 agree with each other, but rightmost column has no mimics. So these 2 agree. Leftmost column
Middle left, bottom right disagree.
Yep. I actually had my cursor hovering over both of them as you're saying that. So, okay. Rightmost column has 1 or more mimics. Rightmost column has 1 or more mimics. Rightmost column contains no mimics, then be a lie. But, like, the 2 mimic... Wait a second. Top row has a mimic. Top row contains no mimics, top row contains no mimics, so... Okay, rightmost column contains no mimics. Leftmost column has 1 or more mimics. Leftmost column contains no mimics. Right.
Top row has at least 1, must be wrong.
Must be wrong?
Because if it's correct, there are too many things that can be wrong. Because we have two things disagreeing with the leftmost, and we have two things saying rightmost has one, and one that says rightmost has none. So there's, between just those two things, at least two things are wrong. So if top row does have a mimic, then the two things that say contain no mimics would also be wrong.
Okay, so the
We
top
can't
row
have
has
four
to
things
contain
that are
no
wrong.
mimics.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this is just confused?
We don't know yet.
Okay, so are we saying that the top row contains no mimics?
Yes.
In which case, this is not a mimic. So it could be true, could be false, but whatever it is, this agrees with it, and this argues against it. But the
Yes.
bottom row has at least one mimic. So does the leftmost column contain a mimic or no mimics?
Okay, so since we know that top row has at least one disagrees with the other two, that's one thing that is wrong. Leftmost contains none, and leftmost has one or more, that's another one. Rightmost has no mimics is either confused or a mimic.
Right, okay.
Rightmost definitely does have one or more mimics.
Rightmost column definitely has one or more mimics. Yes.
Okay.
So one of those two on the right is a mimic, which means... yeah, the top row has at least one mimic. We know that is false, at the very least.
Yes.
Rightmost column contains no mimics. We know this is false. But does the leftmost column contain a mimic? Hard to tell. I say open up the 5 we have.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, and let's
Crystal?
let's crystal and hope that it's one of the ones marked 2.
Right middle box is not a mimic.
Okay, so we know that one is confused. Okay. That one
Yeah,
was
we know it's confused. I like that there's the warning, which means that there are 2 mimics flat out.
Which means
left.
the bottom right one is a mimic.
Yeah, this has to be a mimic. Leftmost column has one or more mimics, and then that's true. And then that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
So at least we got it.
Yep.
Okay, rightmost column has one. Bottom row has at least one mimic. Bottom row has at least one mimic. Right? Okay. These two disagree. Rightmost column has one or more mimics. Is also in with that grouping. Because yeah. That could be a mimic, could be... It can't just be true. It could be confused or it's a mimic. Must be one of the two. And then that kind of determines...
Well, actually, the thing is, you're also making an assumption that the bottom row has at least one mimic is true.
I mean, again, if these are both mimics... rightmost column has one or more mimics, true. Rightmost column has no mimics. False, I guess. Whatever the case, those 3 are lying, and one of the 2 on the right would have to be a mimic. Rightmost column has one or more mimics, would then be true. Top row has at least one. Bottom row contains none is true. Leftmost column contains none is then also false.
Okay.
Unless
All
that's
right.
just confused.
But there's 2 of them that say that, so therefore that can't be...
No, if that one on the left is confused, then this could be a way to do it.
Let's just... Shall we go for it?
I don't want to.
Okay, so we just keep in mind that it's the top right, and middle left were the ones that could be wrong.
I kind of think, why don't we just... We don't have many floors left, why don't we just use a crystal just to start things off and get the ball rolling?
Okay.
Oh no, because it could hit on the confused one. That's a fair point. Are there any
Yeah.
that we can guarantee?
Okay, well, we're on the assumption that the bottom row, that those ones on the right were wrong. We know what ones came up as false. So let's
Yes.
see with the logic if they are correct.
If they are correct, rightmost column has one or more mimics cannot be true. It has to either be a mimic or confused. One of the
And-
two. And
Yep,
then
and-
one of these is true and one of them is false. Based on
Yeah.
if that is confused or a mimic. Top row has at least one mimic. Could be true. Bottom row contains no mimics is then also false, so we have all three of our falses. Top row could definitely contain a mimic. Leftmost contains no mimics would then also be false, so that can't happen. So it looks like...
Well, no, it can. Again, 2 mimics, but 1 confused.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, if
True,
we assume
true,
the bottom
that
right
is lying.
is a mimic, but the top left is confused.
Rightmost column leftmost column contains no mimics could then be true. Leftmost column contains no mimics.
Sorry,
could
the
then be-
middle left is confused, rather.
So, yeah,
Wait.
if that's a mimic, then
Wait
we
a
don't
minute.
necessarily know which one is confused.
No, you're right, because the bottom right one can't be a mimic.
Yeah,
Yes,
rightmost
the
column
mimic
has
that
one
is
or more
confused.
mimics. If that is a mimic, then it's true. If it's... No. Rightmost column has one or more mimics. Rightmost column does not... Yeah, no. If it's a mimic, it's true. If it's true, it's false. It has to be confused, which means... Rightmost column contains no mimics is then just flat true. Rightmost column has one or more mimics is flat false. Top row has at least one mimic, that is true. Bottom row contains no mimics. Might be true, might be false. Leftmost column contains no mimics is then false. Leftmost column contains no mimics is then flat false.
Okay,
And then this
so
is
therefore
also
we
flat
know
false.
it's the other way around.
Alright, do we just want to lock in the other way? 'Cause we
Yep.
can't actually lock in the other way, right? Like,
Yeah, just do this, and then just put in... What? Yeah, we can lock in the left one is confused.
we can guarantee that this one is confused?
Yes, because we have 2 things that say leftmost column has no mimics.
Alright, so you're confirmed on this? Period,
Yes.
send it, let's go.
Yes.
Alright, it doesn't open the triangle box.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Not holding any candy, optimize, one shot. Eat the candy. Da 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 da. There's no mimic among the blue boxes, none among the black boxes. Levels come in still makes top 10. Okay, if we assume there's no mimic among the blue... No, because... we can't just assume that, because confused boxes.
Well, yeah, but we can do it for the sake of, like, trying to figure things out. Let's assume the top right one is absolutely correct.
Alright. There's no mimic among the black boxes. Is then, you know, not a mimic at least, but could still be lying. This column contains no mimics could also be lying, but that agrees with this. We can't find, like, 3 that agree. We can find groups of 2 that agree. But then what do we have? No mimic among the black boxes is what that claims.
We have
Top
3
row.
things talking about the top.
Top oak has at least one mimic. Top oak contains no mimics. So, one of them would then have to be confused.
And don't forget the one on the middle right.
Yeah, top row has no mimics, so if this is the confused one, then the top row contains no mimics, and the bottom row contains no mimics, then...
Okay, so therefore, top row has at least one mimic is... If we're going with this logic, top row has at least one mimic assumed to be true.
Alright, top row contains...
Well, why are you removing everything?
Okay, wait, you...
Yeah, leave the left column and the top right. Everything else leave blank. Now, mark the middle one as true. Therefore, we know that those ones are wrong to some degree. Top one, therefore, also is wrong, and therefore the bottom middle one would have to be true.
It's a fair bit of assumption going on here.
Yes. Oh, the top left one says there's no mimic among the black, so that would mean the bottom right one is confused. So, this is a valid setup. But, you know what,
Okay.
I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna open up Notepad, and I'm just gonna do a thing here.
Top, middle, middle right,
X,
bottom
O,
right, confused.
O, O, X, O, O, triangle. Alright, so, now let's assume that the top right is straight up on the deck.
There is no mimic one. Okay. That doesn't tell us.
Bottom middle is true.
This column has one or more. Top row has at least one mimic. Top row contains no mimics is false. Top row contains no mimics is false. Everything else has to be true.
And
False.
top middle is also false. So therefore, we know that the top right one is definitely not a mimic.
But what if it is simply confused?
Alright. So, this means that one of them...
there is no mimic among the blue boxes. False, so one of these two is lying.
And it has to be the leftmost contains no mimics.
Right, because that would have to be lying. And this would have to be lying, because it agrees.
And everything else would have to be true, which isn't possible.
Right, because the bottom row does contain a mimic. So the only one that actually answers it is what we had here.
Yep, so... And everything else is... Oh, yeah.
It was the bottom right that was confused,
yep.
Right? Because there's no mimic on the black boxes.
Exactly.
Send it.
Yep.
We died. There was a mimic among the blue boxes. It was that box itself. Top row contains no mimics. That one is confused. Leftmost column is fine. I think the thing is, yeah, swap those two, as it turns out. Top middle and top right. Well, we got a few adventure points. I guess let's try again.
Oof. This one is difficult but fun.
It's the most difficult one.
I mean, doubt and confused are both marked as 6.
Okay, but this is the one that actually gives us like 7 orbs and tells us this is very difficult. Anyway.
Orbs?
Yeah, the blue spheres. Top row contains none, top most contains none, right most contains none, blah blah blah, da, da, blah. One of those two is lying. We just have to guess which one is not a mimic. You know what, let's just guess that one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, go ahead.
No, actually it was that one. It was 3 pairs.
Yes, but 4 of them had to do with the top, so therefore one of those 2 pairs was the ones that was wrong. You were just rushing through and I didn't get a chance to speak. I know it's floor 1, but yeah. 3 things say there's a mimic among the red. Therefore, there's definitely a mimic among the red.
Alright. There's a mimic among the black boxes is false. There's a mimic among the blue boxes
is false.
There's no mimic among the black boxes. Yes.
So one of those is true, one of those is...
Alright. Which one?
One of those... Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Just pick one.
Mimic. Top row contains no mimics. Top row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains a mimic. Rightmost contains none. Top row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains a mimic. So
right, let's assume that the bottom row contains a mimic is true.
Okay. So true and true, which means all the rest are
which
Correct.
means that the
or
middle bottom is the mimic.
Alright, so all the rest are safe then.
Yes. Top right is confused.
Alright, No mimic among the black boxes, none among the blue boxes. One of them has to be lying. There's a mimic among the black boxes, there's none among the black boxes. One of those has to be lying, which
Three
means...
things say that there's a mimic among the black.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything else is true. Or correct, whatever. Safe.
Yeah, and the blue one is confused. Bottom right is confused. Oh, look at this.
At least you're remembering to actually go for the chest.
There's no mimic. There's a mimic among the blue. Bottom row contains a mimic. Again, this could be just confused. There is no mimic among the red. There is no mimic among the red. Rightmost column contains no mimics. Rightmost column... There's like 4 that say that the red box is safe.
Yeah. So therefore the red box is safe. Yes.
Or... No, yeah. It has to be safe one way or another.
Yes.
It's just confused. Nisa! Nisa, please. Nisa! Wow, Nisa, really? The most common contains a mimic. There's none among the blue. Box on the left is safe. No mimic among the blue. Box above me is safe. Interesting. Okay. So these two vouch for each other. And this one also vouches for it. So they can't all be lying. Box above
and the
me
bottom
is
left
safe.
vouches for the one above it.
Yeah. So... one of these are both lying then. So that's the mimic, and that's confused.
Yes.
How did we get so absorbed in this game? Like, how did that happen?
I mean, we like logic problems, I guess.
My life is a problem. Also, on the left is safe. There are more mimics in red than in blue. So that's saying that there is a mimic in a blue box. Box on the left is a mimic. If that is a mimic. Box on the left
bottom
is
left
safe.
is confused.
Do we send it?
Yes.
Alright, 2-shot. Well. Thank you, Nisa. Our attack rating is F. Alright, 2 small lunches?
Okay.
Just to get health up.
Yep.
All the way, especially. Alright. Novice staff is a +6, or we can buy 1, maybe 2 attack candies. We can buy 1 attack candy instead.
Yep.
And a defense.
Sure. And hope we get some gear.
I really hope so too. Down right is safe. Up. Okay. Okay. Down right is a mimic. There's no mimic among the red boxes. It's false. Down left isn't a mimic, so that's just confused. No mimic among the red boxes is then also false. Huh.
Let's assume the middle one is confused.
Yeah. If that's confused, so there's no mimic among the red boxes, not among the red boxes. Down left is safe, box on the right is safe.
That's not possible.
Okay. I feel like...
Then if the middle one is a mimic and the top left is confused.
It isn't a mimic, but it's confused, so it is a mimic. Upright is not a mimic. Upright is a mimic. Is not a mimic. Like that, then.
Yes.
Send it?
Yep.
We gotta go. Top row is safe, bottom row is danger. Bottom row has more mimics than the top, so bottom row has a mimic. Bottom row contains no mimics. Bottom row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains no mimics.
Top left, bottom right, and middle are all true. Because we have 4 things talking about the bottom, 2 with each way, so therefore we know that that some of those are the wrong ones. We know the top right one is not a mimic.
There are 2 that say that the bottom row contain... There are 3 that say that the bottom row contains a mimic.
What?
The middle one says that the bottom row has more mimics than the top, which means that the bottom row must contain a mimic. The one on the right says the bottom row has it, top right says bottom row has a mimic, so the bottom one has to be the mimic, and the one on the left that says the bottom row has no mimics is confused.
Yes.
My sticky eye. Hey, that's enough for a candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Actually, I think we've got 2 pieces of candy. Oh, not a fight. Same number of mimics in top and bottom rows is false. No, doesn't have to be false. Might be false. No mimic among blue boxes.
3 things say top has more than the bottom, so they must all be true.
Which means that one is... would then have to be the mimic. No mimic among the blue boxes.
4 of them say that.
Yeah. And yes, perfect. Mark it as that just so it gets opened. 4 of them disagree, and only 2 chests can be lying.
No, attack the bottom one. Oh!
Why? Yeah, we can take out our weapon, like, untake our weapon.
Okay.
So we don't waste our ability. And then if Nasa happens to attack, it's all well and good. She didn't, but she could have.
Damn, Nasa.
There's a mimic among the blue boxes. Bottom contains a mimic. One mimic is hiding in a black box. So if this is true and there is a mimic among the blue boxes, then there can't be a mimic among the black box.
And 0 mimics hiding in blue boxes is also wrong.
Yeah. So one of these 2 is lying.
Well, either the
well,
top
not necessarily.
left one is
This could be confused.
If the top left one is wrong... Sorry, if the top left one is right, then the one on the right and on the bottom right are both wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Could this be? Could these both be wrong? Bottom row contains a mimic is true. Box on the left is safe. Bottom row contains a mimic. No mimic among the red boxes. So that could totally be the case.
In which case, the one on the right is confused.
What? Oh, right, because there's bottom row is a mimic. Do we want to send it like this, though? Okay. We know the top left cannot be a mimic, but it could be confused, in which case there is no mimic among the blue boxes. Bottom oak would have to contain a mimic in a black box, 0 in blue boxes. There's no mimic among the red boxes, would then have to be lying, so there would have to be a mimic among the red boxes, which is impossible because there's only one mimic.
Correct. So bottom right is false and everything else is safe.
True. We got a sickle, but then we got a better sickle.
Is it an icicle?
No, it's like a demon sickle.
Oh. Good job, Nisa. Well, we're not using the gun anymore. And now we are.
Because I optimized it, and the scythe does just enough damage to kill that skeleton. Down left is safe. Bottom row is danger. Mimic on the black box. Some gold hiding in a blue box. That is a lie. This is a lie. There's no gold.
And
bottom row contains a mimic. Bottom row contains no mimics.
Everything else
has to be
true.
False. Yes. Down left is not a mimic. So it's either true or it's confused. No mimic among the blue boxes, which would mean that's again either true or confused. Up right is safe. Bottom row contains no mimics is true. So that's confused.
Okay. So therefore it's a circle.
Yeah, therefore it's safe. Level up!
Come on, Nisa.
Nisa! Ooh. And we're just about to heal. Punch! Do we want to say yes?
Yes.
Big meal anyway.
Now, do we want to buy a whetstone?
Yes. No. Maybe? 10 more fours.
This is why we should have checked what she had before selling everything.
We'll be fine. I feel confident.
I feel realistic.
We'll be fine.
How many crystals do we have?
Like 7. We can sell them all at the end to buy more candy, remember?
Fair.
2 mimics. Box on the right is danger. Box below me is safe. Box above me is danger.
Wow, everything is directional.
Okay. So 2 of them are saying that this middle box is a... 3 of them are saying that this box is a mimic. If we assume all 3 of these are somehow lying, because there can only be 3 liars, and that this is not a mimic, then this one would have to be confused. Well, actually, no. Technically, this could be true, and this could be confused.
And
box below is safe. Left is safe.
And everything else does work.
So, that's a possibility. On the other hand, if we assume that these are telling the truth, and this is just flat a mimic.
Impossible, because if that one's saying that the one below me isn't a mimic, then that means the one below it is a mimic, but it can't be because it's telling the truth then. So it is the other way. That one's confused, those are mimics, and everything else is safe.
Right. Yeah, these are all lying. Box below me isn't a mimic, everything else is safe. Send it?
And... Yep.
Cool. No mimic among the red. There is a mimic among the black boxes. There is a mimic among the black boxes. These can't both be confused. So there is a mimic among the black boxes. There's no mimic among the red. There are 3 that say there is no mimic among the red. No mimic among the black boxes has to be lying. Because we know there is a mimic among the black boxes.
So therefore, the no mimic among the red has to be true, because otherwise we have 4 things that are false.
Alright, so the rightmost column does not contain no mimic, so that has to be a mimic. There is no mimic among the blue boxes, would then also have to be false, because there are 2 false blue chests.
Okay, let's just see here.
One of them is confused, one is a mimic.
We know that the black one is definitely a mimic. We just don't know with those ones which one is.
Yes.
All right, so
open these ones we have,
and then use a crystal. Wait, here. Yes. Gold. Item. Check the thing.
Item.
It's gold.
It's
just money. Whichever one it is just money.
I mean, it could be more than the 65 money that we would get for selling the crystal, but it's probably not.
Yeah, I'd
or we
say
might
it's
need
not
the crystal later.
Let's just go.
Alright. Optimize. So this floor is a free. Let's equip our gun again. Rightmost column is 1 more. Bottom row is none. Top row contains none. Okay. We assume that these are both lying. The rightmost column has 1 or more mimics. Well,
then top
leftmost
row
column
has none. Has to be true because there's 2 of them that are saying that.
Well, this could be
Which means
confused.
that one is confused. Which
Bottom
means...
row it then has no mimics. There's a mimic among the black boxes, then must be true. There's no mimic among the blue boxes, has to be true because the rightmost column does not have mimics, so the top row has at least 1 mimic. Would then have to be a mimic.
And that works.
This works. Alright. But if we assume that these 2 are telling the truth, then rightmost column has 1 or more mimics. Then what? Then what is there?
Let's see here. If the rightmost column has 1 or more, then the bottom left one has to be true. Because either the top row contains no mimics, both of those are false, or the bottom right one is... Oh, right, that one.
That could be false, that could be confused, that could be the mimic, that could be... Note that wouldn't be true then. And it can't also be confused.
Why can't it be true?
There is no mimic among the blue boxes, but then the blue boxes has to be a mimic? If this isn't a mimic, then there is a mimic among the black boxes anyway.
Yes.
So then there would have to be a mimic among the black boxes. Leftmost column has 1 or more mimics is then false.
Yes. Bottom row has none is then false.
Well...
Oh, right, well...
Yeah, because
right,
this could be confused.
Alright. Well, we know that there's 1 that says top row has 1, and 2 that say top row has 0. Okay, let's take a look at the black boxes. Ignore the left... We'll keep the leftmost column marked there. There's a mimic among the black boxes, meaning... Well, one of those is the top row one, so that's... that one.
Again, such a wishy-washy... Well, actually, wait. Wait. Bottom left was true in both situations.
Okay.
Can we just open the bottom left?
Okay.
Alright. And then, let's see. Because we don't know about any of the rest of them if those are true, but I feel like if we use a stone, if we get lucky, it'll tell us a lot.
Okay.
Top middle is safe.
It's safe, but we don't know if it's telling the truth.
Yes. We know that that itself is not a mimic, so if it is telling the truth, then leftmost column has one or more mimics, and there's no mimic among the blue boxes, and we're back to this again.
And the top right has to be true. So let's now assume the other way around, that the bottom row contains a mimic is confused.
Alright, which means that the bottom row does contain one mimic, at least one mimic. If it contains at least one mimic, then both of these have to be true, because they can't, like, just one of them can't be a mimic. So right, leftmost column is one more mimics has to be false. There's no mimic among the blue boxes is then false. But then
the rest can't possibly work. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's, I think, as we had it the first time.
Yep. Where it's,
And confused. Like this,
Yes.
right? Stop.
Yep, and then just mark the triangle as circle and we're good.
Oh gosh, okay. See, we can work with some logics.
Yes.
Occasionally.
Oh boy.
Boom!
Well, say goodbye to our flare gun.
Goodbye, Clairgon. What was that, Azura? I will punch this thing in the face. Two mimics hide side by side. There's no mimic wrong.
3 things say 2 mimics hide side by side. If they're all false, that does work. So let's see if it's possible for everything else to be true. It is not. Because top right and bottom right disagree.
Okay, yeah.
So therefore, we know for a fact
they have to be true.
Hit side by side.
Diagonal doesn't count for that, which means these two have to be true.
Therefore, we know that the middle right is definitely wrong.
Wait, hold on. Okay. These two cannot be mimics, but one could still be confused, which means we know that one has to be a mimic anyway, so there is a mimic among the red.
Okay.
Could be a mimic among a blue box.
Okay.
Bottom row could have a mimic.
If the top right is false, then the middle
then
one
that's
would have
confused.
Okay, that is if the top right is a mimic, you mean. Let's assume that the top right is true. That's not possible. So therefore, it's either no matter what, it's not telling the truth.
There is a mimic among the blue boxes. It is in some way.
Meaning it is definitely confused.
Which means this is true, that there is no mimic among the black box.
And this means the bottom right is telling the truth.
There is a mimic among the blue boxes. Bottom row does not have a mimic. Boom, boom, boom.
And top right circle. There you go.
Safe.
Now send it. Energy drink.
Gain like 13 attack for 1 room or something.
Please have a whetstone.
No.
Dang.
We have like 2 more floors before the bottom. What if we just don't sell our gear yet?
I agree.
Buy a bunch of attack candies to use.
Yes.
Eat them. And then just keep running. Cool?
Okay.
Alright, 2 mimics are hiding in blue boxes is false. It might be a mimic, it might be just confused, but it's false.
Yes.
Box on the right is a mimic, could be true. Mimic on the red, box above me is safe. Okay. There's a mimic among the red. There's a mimic among the red.
You know what? Let's make the assumption that the bottom right is true.
No mimic among the red boxes. Box above me is safe. Is not a mimic. Which means that would have to be confused. One mimic's in a black box, then box on the right is a mimic. One of these three, only one of them is a mimic, but there are two that both say there's a mimic among the red boxes. So no.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, no. So bottom right is wrong then. We know for a fact that...
It is lying.
Wait, what happens if the bottom right is true, but the middle right is confused?
I mean, again, if the bottom right is true, the middle center and the middle left
wait a minute.
both have to be
Yeah,
lying.
you know what? Yeah, the middle right actually can't be wrong. Because the top right can't be a mimic.
There's no mimic. Yeah, there's no mimic among the black boxes if that's a mimic. Wait, why can't it be a mimic?
Because if it's a mimic... Oh, shit, no, I was looking
Then there
at
is
that.
a mimic among the black boxes.
Yeah, sorry. My brain was backwards.
The brain was backwards. Okay, so like one of these would have to be wrong, one of these would have to be confused. That would be safe, there's no mimic among the black boxes, but then also have to be wrong. That can't be the case. So there's no mimic
So
among the
therefore,
red
bottom
boxes.
right is definitely wrong.
Yeah, definitely wrong, not necessarily a mimic.
But therefore we know that middle and middle left are true.
So, but there are already then two that are wrong, so there's no mimic among the black boxes would then have to be true because there are two that agree with each other. Box above
Yes.
me is then not a mimic. Box on the right does not have to be a mimic.
Bottom left has to be wrong. Because we've now accounted for all of them.
Okay, so the blue one then has to be a mimic. So one of these is a mimic, and one of these is just confused.
Yes.
Is it? But that's assuming that bottom... No, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we tried to assume bottom right is true, and it can't be.
So push it and count the gold.
Count the gold?
Yeah.
1, 2...
The last one is gold.
So
I
skip.
don't think we need it. Yeah, skip
Okay,
it.
sure. Actually, a gold would be worth more than a blue crystal is worth. Because gold is at least 100. And there's one more floor before the end.
I thought we got 63 gold from each of the gold that we just got.
I thought we got like 100.
Well, if you want to use a blue crystal, go ahead.
Bottom right is safe. Still more than the 65.
Okay, yep, yeah, 86, okay.
Alright.
Alright. Alright, eat your candies.
Try the medicine?
Sure.
Ouch. Alright, buy a whetstone.
Oh, thank Jeebus.
She's selling a charm.
Alright.
Okay, optimize the gear, sell all unequipped. Item.
Whetstone.
Alright, what else do we sell?
Before we start selling things, I'm
Eat things?
uncomfortable with our gut. Do we have... What is our best gut? Yeah, just use one rice ball and then sell all other food.
I'm just seeing if there's anything that restores... Yeah, HP and gut. Because we're low on health anyway.
Okay, sure.
55 should be fine for one floor.
Okay. Alright, well,
And-
let's sell our remaining foods.
Alright, da-da-da. That's just gut. Oh. That's just gut. Again, gut. Da-da-da.
And don't trust- Yeah, sell all those, yep.
Don't trust the weird medicine?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. Do we want to use the Cure M right now?
Sure, let's use it now. Alright. So,
And how about that? Yeah, okay. All right. Cool. In
uh,
fact, you should be able to buy all of the candies.
oh yeah, easy. And all of the cures.
Yep. Yep. Do you want to buy the wind scroll as well, just so we have...
Might as well.
Yep. Alright.
Eat the candy. Nice. So I think we are good enough to go.
I'd say... How much does the medium heal?
30.
Then I'd say use one now anyways,
Just use
just so we're
one.
close to top health.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Leroy Jenkins.
Alright, so before we do anything,
Energy drink. Yep. Wind scroll. Dark scroll.
alright.
And who... Yeah. Now attack the other one.
No, we can finish off this one without wasting durability on our weapon.
Okay.
And gives a chance for Anesa to attack. Actually, we don't need a weapon.
Yeah.
Because we two-shot everything anyway. 28 damage. Nesa!
Use the shuriken.
Oh, use the shuriken? Okay.
I guess we don't need to now.
No. Punch! Ah. Now loading. We got a rock. No weapon, devil armor. We opened up almost all of the boxes. Hey, we unlocked level 2.
Max HP.
Yeah, sure. Yay!
Did we get any of the achievement?
No?
Nope.
We didn't get quite enough points.
I think the
feel
problem
like
is with... Yeah,
there weren't
I think
enough floors.
Huh?
Don't think there were really enough floors to get the full amount.
I don't know if it's that. I think, well, time is also a factor, but yeah.
Well, this has been another episode of Mimic Logic, then. We did some logics. There were a few mimics. Are you as confused as we are? Well,
Yes.
Oh, so they're not confused at all then. Perfect!